Hi, my name is Beth Leas, and I'm going to share a very personal story with you. It's a story that I recently told at a We Rise Storytelling Collective event called Guts. That was the theme of the evening. And several people who attended the live event asked me if I would tape my story because it moved them and they wanted to share it with other people with the hopes that it would inspire them to share their stories. So here I go. I remember sitting across the table from her at my favorite place on Main Street. The steam rising from her coffee mugs formed a veil between us. I was 40-ish, she was 60-ish. It was awkward in that familiar, uncomfortable kind of way. I had spent a lifetime feeling disconnected from this woman, whose eyes were the first ones that I gazed into when I entered this world. And yet, still, here I was looking for something, anything, remotely motherly. She looked away from me and glanced out the window, and then she said it. I heard her. Beth, you've had a very difficult life. The words just hovered there, and I let them. I longed to have the guts to ask, what do you mean? How has my life been difficult? Have you had a sudden change of heart? Are you now able to see what you haven't been able to look at before? Do you know that the most difficult and most painful part of my life has been your refusal, your staunch refusal to believe me? But I just sat there, silent. I'd been trained well. I was unable to ask for fear that the answer would be a hard no. I took a sip of my coffee. She paid the check. She said, "Rise and shine," as she stood to leave. Rise and shine. My mother's sing-songy voice would wake me up every morning, rousing me out of the darkness. A welcome call back from the nightmare of my father's visits to my room. A call back from the heaviness of feeling so alone. A call back from the night spent curled up in the corner of my bed, tucked tight under my favorite blanket, the one with the cool satin edges. I believed if I prayed, my father would forget to come into my room and punish me for sassing my mother, or for not combing the fringe on the oriental rugs, or for leaving the ice cube tray empty after fetching his drinks. I believed if I prayed hard enough, I would hear my father's footsteps walking past my bedroom door. Most nights I didn't pray hard enough. The door would open, flooding the room with light. The smell of scotch and cigarettes reached my nose before he did. I pressed myself up against the wall before he pressed himself against me. And when he was done, he'd whisper, "Don't tell anyone. No one will believe you." And I knew he was right. Rise and shine. It's a new day dawning. The next morning, I would compartmentalize the pain. The fear would dissipate. Putting my feet on the floor and walking out of my bedroom door took all the courage my little girl self could muster. I'd go into the bathroom, clean myself up, get dressed, pull myself together, and go downstairs for breakfast. For years, I felt broken, angry, alone, ashamed, small, worthless, shattered, forever changed. I always remembered, I never forgot. I spent decades on my healing journey, illuminating the darkness, looking for the hidden gifts. Denial is a powerful force. My mother's refusal to believe me isn't personal to me. It's about her. It's all about her. One of the things my life has shown me to be true, one of the gifts in the darkness, is that what you believe about yourself is far more powerful and more important than what anyone thinks about you. My power resides in my willingness to believe in myself with compassion, courage, kindness. And yet watching Christine Blasey Ford's testimony brought it all rushing back in a 50-year time warp. I thought, her too? Listening to her testimony and her story and the story of all the others who found their courage because of her courage inspired me to be more forthcoming in telling mine. To share my trials, my triumphs, my unique perspective, our common connection. And suddenly, I feel so much less alone. Speaking our truth is the most powerful tool we have to bring to ourselves, to each other, to our community, to the world. Our destiny is not written for us, but by us. Share your story. Telling your story will heal you by setting you free. Share your truth. It's time to rise and shine.